Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Chai and Goals. I don't have my chai with me right now. It's 11:30 here, so avoiding
11:30.
drinking tea right now.
I'm having herbal tea.
Nice, good. Amay is actually it's a long weekend here, so
Yeah,
Amay is gone to a
gone with
cottage.
his family.
Yep. So we just two doing this today
Yeah, he's put in his predictions though, so you'll be able to see his predictions. Yeah, we'll miss his insights as well though.
for sure, for sure. And let me know once you can see my screen, as it always says before corporate meetings.
It's not visible. Oh, there it is.
There it is. So let's go for this. Brentford versus Brighton.
Okay, so I see Amir has put up his predictions 1-2. Actually, this is a very difficult game to call. Brighton in the last five matches, they've dropped. They haven't won any match.
Hmm.
Uh, they even drew against Leicester at home, which was a big surprise
Yep, 2-all.
in the last game. But they've had like some difficult fixtures in there as well. They drew with both City and Nottingham Forest
Yep,
in those five games. And Brentford too. Like they've won just one game, that too against Bournemouth away, which was a big surprise.
yep.
Uh, and they had like two defeats and two draws in their five games. So very difficult fixtures. They are point wise, they are 5 points adrift of each other, and in the league table position, they are like one position. Brighton is just above them.
Hmm.
For Brighton, it will be a very crucial match if they are to qualify for Europe, because there are two other teams tied on the same points with them, and Europe is still within grasp
Yep.
for Brighton. So I am predicting. Uh, I'm going for a draw.
1-all or 2-all.
2-2.
Hmm.
So Johan Visa to score, and for Brighton, probably Koaru Mitoma and Joao Pedro, the usual suspects.
Hmm. I'm actually going to go for a Brentford win. The only reason being they drew against Arsenal, that might have given them confidence.
Mm.
And then because it's at home, Brighton have fallen off. Only if Brighton can face Chelsea every week, they might actually be league winners, but that's not the name of the game.
Yeah.
So I think it will be a 2-1 win for Brentford as per me.
So Brighton, before their last five fixtures, they were actually on a roll. Like after that
Yes,
thumping 7-0 by Forest, they were on a roll. They were winning all the matches, but then last five matches haven't been kind to them.
correct, correct. Next being Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. Amay has already predicted a Bournemouth away win. What do you think,
Crystal,
Sushant?
Crystal Palace, they lost. They were thumped midweek by Newcastle,
4
5-0,
5
5-0,
nil. Yes.
and
Uh,
they've conceded 10 goals in the last two matches.
Yep. Again,
So
City and Newcastle have blown them apart. And
yeah, so
as
they've
he,
downed the Glasner effect.
yep,
So Crystal Palace will be very shaken up uh, after those two defeats in just one week. And Bournemouth, on the other hand, they've had a slip.
yes,
Like they had tremendous start, but like past month or month and a half hasn't been that kind to them.
correct.
Uh, they've just won their last match at home against Fulham by a margin of 1-0, a close match.
Yep.
And they had like three defeats in the last five games, and losing against Ipswich as well in those fixtures. So Bournemouth again, unpredictable team. I'll go for a draw here as well, like 1-1.
Hmm. I'm
It's
actually
very
going. Good, good.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm actually going to go for a Crystal Palace win. The reason being, right, they were 2-0 against Man City,
Mm.
and De Bruyne literally put up a masterclass.
Yeah,
And Newcastle are in such a form they might actually defeat any team in the world right now.
true.
So again, those were unavoidable defeats. With Bournemouth, they do have a chance. Mateta is on a good run. I think if it goes, if a penalty is given, I'm pretty sure Ebernachi Eze is not going to take it with
Yeah,
considering the bad penalty he had at Newcastle.
yeah.
But I think Mateta is going to be the main difference provider here, and he will win it for Palace. But again, I feel it'll be a close game.
I hope he does. He's there in my fantasy team.
Everton or Mateta literally looks like a bank worker with like the mustache.
Yeah.
So he reminds me a lot of that. I think this is one of the games of this week, as per me, which is Everton versus Man City.
It's a
Uh,
it's a tricky game.
it's a tricky game. City have been in good form, but this might be one where they drop points. But what do you think, Sushant?
I'm going for City win. So
Hmm.
looking at City last game week, they looked, especially looking at Kevin De Bruyne, as you mentioned earlier, they were looking hungry again.
Yep.
They like 5-2 was a total demolition after going down to like
2-0.
2-0 at half at
Uh,
not at halftime.
Not at half time. It was 2-2
Halftime they
at
were
half
2
time.
all, yeah.
Yep.
But like after going 2-0 so early, it was difficult for City, like considering their overall games this season.
Yep.
But Marmoush is looking good. And Kevin De Bruyne was looking at his best in the last game.
Yep.
So I'm going for a City win here. Like I
Hmm.
know Everton are on a roll themselves. Like they just defeated Forest away a last like a end winner by
Dakure.
Lukure. Yeah. So I'm backing City to win this one 0-2.
Hmm. I don't think so. This City is. I think this will either be an Everton win or a draw, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Reason being, Everton won against Forest.
Yeah.
Since Moyes has taken over, they are one of the most informed
True.
teams, and I think City might face this. And if Everton score, they'll just go into a low block
Hmm.
and try to repeal everything against City. And considering Goodison is there for this last,
Yeah, last
yeah,
season.
last season, or like I think there are very few home games left. I think the
Hmm.
crowd is going to play a very big part, and they will help to stop City's like free scoring team, which was there last week. So
True, and with Everton, right? As you were mentioning, uh, look at the league position when before David
Moyes,
Moyes took over, and now they are tied on points with United, but above them on superior goal difference.
yep,
So he has done a tremendous job. He's got them to that safety. They are not looking as bad as they were last year, where they last couple of years where they barely managed
barely
to
managed to
escape
save
at
their
the
league.
very end.
Correct, correct,
But this season they are in much comfortable position. They are guaranteed Premier League status next year. So yeah, like you said, and there could be a big factor of their stadium, Goodison Park, not being they won't be playing at Goodison Park next year. So there will
correct.
be crowd behind them. But I believe City, the only thing for them this to salvage is top four.
Yep.
So Pep would want to go all out.
Hmm. That's true as well. That's true. But I think Everton is it's really becoming good when it comes to like playing
Yeah,
at home, stifling teams. That's why I think it might be a draw. This might be a draw according to me.
Amir has gone for 3-0 for City. He is super confident.
He is too optimistic in my opinion.
Okay, so next match, it's a tricky fixture, but on the other side of the table.
Yep. West Ham versus Southampton.
So both teams without any win in the last 5 games. Southampton, I don't even recollect when did they win last. A very,
I think
very
it
long
was
time.
against Spurs.
Spurs, yeah.
Yep.
Who else but Spurs?
Who else but Spurs? Exactly.
But Southampton, they look good in their last match.
Hmm.
They drew no, sorry, not in the last match. Sorry, it was a couple of game weeks back. Sorry, against Crystal Palace.
Again, when they literally lost or drew the game in the
Drew
last
the
minute.
game at the very end, yeah. But then they were like they were faced Aston Villa in the last game. Villa's on a roll, as we all know,
Yep.
and they thumped them 3-0 at home. And
With two penalties
before
being
that,
missed.
with two penalties missed, yeah. So it could have been much worse score line for Southampton.
Yep.
Uh, I'm going for a draw for this game.
Hmm.
Uh, Probably 1-1. West
Hmm.
Ham themselves aren't looking like a free scoring team.
Correct.
They were up against. Almost managed to draw the game against Liverpool, but the Virgil van Dijk goal
Header.
at the
Yep.
very end header that won the game for Liverpool. Both teams not high on morale at all, so this is going to be a tough game to watch, to be honest.
True. I am actually going for a 2-1 win to Southampton.
West
So,
Ham?
to West Ham, sorry. So, the reason being, right, West Ham did play really well in the last 15-20 minutes against
Hmm.
Liverpool. They were almost close to getting a draw at Liverpool. And actually, they were close to equalize in the last minute when I think
Hmm.
Cool, who's that? The ex
Kudus?
Dortmund striker.
Or
No,
Dortmund striker? Sh-
sure.
uh, wait, I'm just blanking. Fulkrug.
Fulkrug, yeah.
Nicolas Fulkrug, yeah.
Fulkrug. He literally headed against the bar,
Hmm.
and I think that might have just given them some belief in themselves. So
Hmm.
I'm going for a 2-1 win considering it's at home and it's against Southampton. That's the only factor which I have. Had it been any other team, I would have gone for a draw or a loss. But just because it's Southampton, I'm going for a 2-1 win.
Okay.
Yep. And this might again
This
this
is the
also might be
sauciest fixture for me.
yeah, there's a sausage picture. Newcastle are in amazing form
Yeah.
and Aston Villa and Amai has gone for a 1-4 win. That too
Oh,
at home. Wow.
yeah. Well, did he mean this scoreline for some other team, or is he really been optimistic about Newcastle?
I think he's been optimistic about a lot of teams. I look at Fulham Chelsea is like 0-3 to Chelsea and Chelsea
That's
lost against in the Conference League as well. So
yeah.
yeah, not
But
sure what Amai was having that time.
he is on a party mode. He is on a
True,
vacation mode.
true, true. He's
Sorry,
predicted
I'm-
he's predicted scores also like that. But yeah,
Okay.
Aston Villa versus Newcastle, both teams in amazing form right now.
Both teams vying for top four, top five.
And both teams are free scoring.
Yeah, and Aston Villa did have an amazing game week. The match that they played against PSG midweek,
Yep,
I was almost they were almost there pushing the match to extra time. That too coming down from 2-0 down.
yep,
So
exactly.
an amazing comeback from them. They just couldn't find the finishing edge for that one crucial goal which could have taken the match into extra time.
Yep,
Rashford with his assist, he was looking like yeah, I'm happy as well as sad being a United fan, but yeah, the assist that he provided for Konsa's goal, right?
Kwanzaa, yeah, yep,
So a really amazing assist. Nice to see him get that confidence back, where he can take the ball past the players.
yep.
And he seems to be the thorn in PSG's neck for a long time. Like especially if you remember the 17-18 it was.
Yeah,
Uh,
Solskjaer's 1-3 win.
Solskjaer
Yeah, a
or
penalty
eighteen
and
nineteen, eighteen
yep,
nineteen, I believe.
18-19. Yep.
18-19. Penalty win, United's last quarter final in Champions League.
Hmm.
So yeah, after that we've been Europa League specialists.
But yeah, what do you think? Villa
So
versus
it's
Newcastle.
going to be a very difficult one to predict. There will be goals in the game.
Yep,
There will be goals. Both teams are on good scoring form. In the league, Aston Villa, as we mentioned earlier, they trashed Southampton 3-0 after missing two penalties.
yep,
And I'm sure that now that they are out of Europe, they would want to cement, they would want a push in their efforts to get Champions League qualifications.
true.
And same with Newcastle. Newcastle are on a roll. They trashed United 4-1
Yep. And
last
then
last
Crystal
weekend, and
Palace. Yep.
then Crystal Palace as well, final, right?
Yep. Final.
So I'm going for 2-2.
2-2. This actually might be the sauciest fixture of this week. Like goals all around, defenses
Can
are.
you imagine saying this 10 years ago?
This might be a
This could have been on the other
relegation
side of the
dogfight.
picture. Yeah, relegation
Exactly.
fight.
Exactly. But I think, and because Villa did play a very strong game against
Mm.
PSG, it was on Tuesday again. This fixture is tomorrow, which is on Saturday, I believe.
Yeah.
I think those 90 minutes were too heavy on Newcastle or on Villa, and Newcastle are on literally a roll right now.
Mhm.
So I am actually going for a 1-2 narrow victory for Newcastle,
Okay.
and just because the form of Newcastle is good, they are now top. They are third, I think, in the table.
They're
They've gone
third.
above
They're
Forest,
third. Yeah, they've gone above four. They're 2 points above Forest.
and they are 4 points
Above City.
about, yeah, 4 points behind Arsenal as well.
4 points
And
behind Arsenal.
if everything goes right, because Arsenal will be focusing on
Mm.
Champions League, who's to say that they can't catch Arsenal as well?
Yeah.
And I think Eddie Howe is still recovering from his. I think he has pneumonia, and he's still
Yeah,
recovering.
he's still recovering.
So Jason Tindall is the person in the dugout. He literally, I think, has like a 2 for 2, played 2 and 1-2. He
Yeah.
would want to extend that record, and that's why
So
I'm just thinking it might be Newcastle there. Their players, even their midfielders, are in great scoring form right now.
yes, you have a very strong midfield like Sandro Tonali, you have
Bruno
then
Guimaraes
Bruno Guimaraes and
and
then
Joel Linton.
Joel Linton. So all
Yep,
three strong. Harvey Barnes has like in the last 1 week he's looked tremendous.
yep.
He's not letting them feel and the absence of Anthony Gordon.
And Gordon is fit. He's on the bench.
He's on the
And
bench, yeah, like that's
yep,
what. So Anthony Gordon, he was there like one of the top players in the first half of the season.
yep.
Harvey Barnes caught pace and like he's there up as a top
And
one of the
even
top players.
Jacob Murphy, he's
Jacob Murphy,
playing
yeah.
really well. Isaac is doing his own things. And then Pope is back. Pope is back to his usual best. Burn, Share, everyone is just playing out of their skin right now.
Yeah.
So I think this might be a very, very close, but a Newcastle win.
Okay.
Yep. Again, I think Amay has predicted too high for Chelsea. I'm pretty sure they are not going to win 3-0. I'm not even
It
sure if they're going to win.
this could be a draw as well.
Yep.
This could be a draw, Fulham Chelsea.
1-1.
Uh so Chelsea in the last game against Ipswich, they barely managed to hold on to a draw at the end.
Yep.
And in their match against Legia Warsaw in midweek, uh, they were defeated at home. Like they even though they had like 3-0 victory in the first leg, but still they played with a strong team. They had Cole Palmer, Jackson, Sancho, everyone playing everyone playing like their first team starters.
Yep.
And even after that, they were defeated at home. So Maresca again, like everything for him. I don't think possibly just winning the Conference League might help him hold on to the job,
Hmm.
but he will be in a tough spot for sure. And his tactics, I'm not too sure of them right now. Like he has many options,
Yep.
uh, good attackers in the team, but still like they are not scoring, and you could see easily that their scoring was heavily reliant on Cole Palmer,
Yep.
both on creating the goals and scoring the goals. After his form took a dive, Chelsea's form overall took a dive.
Correct.
They are managing victories, but barely managing, like not any convincing outright victories, I'd say.
Correct.
So, and Fulham again, like it's their derby, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. It's
Uh,
a London derby basically.
and they are in the same area too, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
Fulham and Chelsea.
Yep.
So it'll be a very tight match. Fulham, they won against
Liverpool.
Liverpool a couple of game weeks back.
Yep.
Uh, and they've had tough fixtures as well. They won against Spurs 2-0 at home. They won against Liverpool 3-2 at home. But they were defeated by Crystal Palace at their own home,
Correct.
and at Craven Cottage.
Wasn't that the
And
FA Cup?
FA Cup, yeah, 3-0.
Yep.
But that was a
3-0.
tremendous performance by
Yep.
Palace. And last game week they narrowly were defeated by Bournemouth 1-0.
Hmm.
And the goal was scored in the first minute.
Semenyo. Yep.
Semenyo. So Fulham are no easy pushovers this season. They are also on 48 points. Again, like Fulham, Bournemouth, and Brighton all on 48 points. So Chelsea is on sixth, who are on 54 points, and there will be tough competitions among these three teams which you mentioned right now.
Yep.
to get into Europe.
Correct.
So, so it won't be an easy fixture for Chelsea, and there's a good chance Chelsea might just slip off the sixth place.
It could definitely happen. I feel that happening, and if that happens, and even if they win the Conference League, right?
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure Maresca will get the sack if that happens.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're saying not even Europa League position would save them, would save Maresca's job.
Not with the amount of money they have spent. Not again. Had it been they did start tremendously. They were
Mm.
in the middle. They were saying that as title contenders, and then they literally had a drop off once Palmer Ross has formed.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of fearing that Chelsea might not finish top four.
Mm.
And even in my initial predictions or like the predictions we have been having, right? I
Updated,
feel
yeah.
it's Newcastle, City, and then I don't think so. Chelsea are gonna finish in the top five basically.
Okay.
So and even with Warsaw, like Legia Warsaw, right?
Yeah.
They lost at home with a strong team.
Yeah.
So I don't even like one bad game and they might be out of the Conference League as well. So
Okay.
again, they don't have that many tough opponents there, but I still don't think they are cut out to win anything this year. But
I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
1-1. I'm
Yeah.
actually going to go for a 2-1 victory to Fulham.
I'm playing
Because
safe. It looks like four draws, five draws.
yeah, I'm actually
Well,
playing towards victories because
yeah.
especially
Close
this one,
victories.
right? Yeah, especially this one. I think if they play Muniz, if they play Harry Wilson,
Mm.
and if they kind of perform like they did against Liverpool,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure they might get the better of Chelsea.
Possible.
Yep. Next being Ipswich versus Arsenal. Amaya is put in a 2-0. I don't think so. It might be that straightforward for Arsenal against Ipswich.
Uh, go ahead.
So
What?
the reason being, right, Ipswich drew against Chelsea 2-2 at Stamford
Mm.
Bridge. Again, it's Chelsea. But Arsenal did very, very well against Madrid.
The
They
players would be
know,
tired.
yeah, they would be tired. The other thing being, they want to put all of their eggs now in the Champions League. They would want to avoid those injuries. And
Yeah.
at some point, Arteta would be like, okay, I'm not going to risk Saka. I'm not going to risk Rice. I'm
Mm.
not going to risk Martinelli. And he
And
might play Sterling, Waneri, Trossard, and they don't have the same firepower as the front players. That's why I think this might actually be a close Arsenal win, but I think it'll just be a 1-0.
I'm going for a close win as well. I'm going for 1-2 to Arsenal.
Okay.
Um, I'm completely there with you on the points you mentioned, right? So they would want to avoid injuries. It happened the same thing what we mentioned last time, right? They did not start with their main players. They instead played with Sterling, Trossard, Tierney, Zinchenko, like the
Yep.
forgotten players, Jorginho.
Yep.
So, but still, there is something about Arsenal this season where they are winning against the improbable.
Yep.
So we thought that lack of striker would possibly hurt them in many big games, but they still managed to pull, like especially against a big team like Real Madrid on the
Yep.
European stage.
Yep.
Played out of their skin, uh, a comfortable, I'd say, home win, and they kept the defense in spite of Gabriel not being there. They managed to keep Mbappe shut.
Yep.
So a very big performance from them. The players would be tired. The first team would be certainly tired, but and we mentioned this earlier that Newcastle are close on the heels.
Yep.
So they would also want to safeguard the second position.
Correct.
Uh, like Forest, my predictions Forest would probably drop off, and City and Aston Villa could be the next two contenders in place.
Hmm.
Newcastle, I'm pinning surety on them that they would be qualifying. So Arsenal also wouldn't want to lose that comfort, the 4 point cushion, because they have some difficult games. They are
And it
playing against Newcastle
correct.
uh, in after a couple of game weeks, and they are yet to play Chelsea as well.
Yep.
So and Liverpool as well, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. Liverpool at home.
So they do have some tough fixtures coming up. So I think they would also want to make sure that that second position safe.
Hmm.
So 1-2
One
hours
two.
of close game. Yeah,
Got it. Got it. I think this is also a really good game. Maybe the Cunha audition for Manchester United.
audition.
Yep. Amay has gone for a 2-all. I don't disagree. United team is shipping goals, but they might be high on that 5-4 win against Lyon. And what a game it was.
Yeah, like I had almost like the United fans who went out of the stadium, but they then came back and they were there to witness it on a screen. I was like one of those, but sitting at the home screen. I had
Hmm.
friends come over at my home, and my like I had given up hopes. I was like, कुछ नहीं होगा. They were like they went behind 4-2 after leading 2-0 in the halftime.
Yep.
Uh, and that too against a 10-man Leon. So I was like, it's done. The season's done. There's nothing more to watch for as a United fan this season. The worst it could ever be. But then tremendous come around, especially Casemiro.
Yes.
Hats off to his performance uh, in like last 6 minutes. He was there. He played well throughout the game, no doubt. But like he provided the two assists for the last two goals, and the penalty also, I believe it was
Yes. Casemiro. Yes. They kicked
yeah.
Casemiro. Yep.
So tremendous performance. They would be high, but again, like we have to remember one thing: they played 120 minutes
Correct.
midweek,
Correct.
and already United squad is running thin with many injuries.
Yep.
We recently have Zirkzee out for the rest of the season, I believe. Yeah, there's
Yep.
Zirkzee out for the rest of the season. Coming up, we have semi-finals against Athletic Bilbao in a couple of weeks. So the league position, I don't think Amorim, it matters to Amorim as much now.
Yep.
Is like let's see what happens at the end, but his focus is primarily on winning the Europa League,
Correct.
and it could be an all English final at the end of Europa League.
Possible.
Uh, so it could be a Wolves are in tremendous form. Wolves
Yep.
haven't been defeated in their last 5 games. In fact, they've got 13 points out of possible 15 in their last five,
Hmm.
and the draw coming against Everton, who themselves were buoyant after David Moyes joining in.
Yep.
So I'm going for a 2-2 draw as well.
Hmm. Got it. 2-2. I am actually going for a United win with a 2-1 win. I think it's just that their momentum will take them through. Uh, and it's at Old Trafford, so the Old Trafford will be really cheering them up. That's my thinking. And I think for Wolves, I think it might be either Cunha or Larson who would be scoring.
Their
Uh,
strikers are in tremendous form.
their strikers are indeed in tremendous form. But again, I think United should pull this through.
Hopefully, I'll be
Yep.
happy if they do.
And then Leicester versus Liverpool.
0-3.
0-3. Oh, that was straight. I think 0-2. Liverpool's attackers are not in the best form.
Mm.
The only good part is Virgil van Dijk has also signed his contract.
Yeah,
Um, Mo Salah had already signed the contract before the game against West Ham. Uh, but again, I think the midfield and the fatigue, right? Liverpool are not playing well after 60 minutes. They're
yeah.
kind of getting nervous. So that's why I don't think so. It'll be a massive scoring game. It'll just be 0-2. It's been the theme of the season where they have won 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, and
Mm.
if they win just two more, they'll be champions.
Yeah.
So I think
I
it'll.
guess Salah will find his form in this game. He will
Yep.
be back to his goal scoring ways. I'm hoping for a like hat trick, maybe Salah
it's
hat trick.
it's possible. Leicester have been
Just
shipping.
because it's Leicester,
Yep.
and it will be a good a relaxing game for this Liverpool team where they can be sure of those 3 points,
Yep.
and
And
they'll be
then
just one game away from the
and that's
title.
at Anfield against Tottenham, so
Yeah,
they might want to get that done at Anfield itself.
yeah.
Yep. Forest versus Tottenham again a big game in my
Mm.
opinion. Tottenham were incredibly lucky, I would say,
Mhm.
to get ahead, go get that penalty against Frankfurt, And
Yeah,
Forest had a slight dip of a form. They lost to Everton at home.
yeah.
What do you think, Sushant?
Uh, I'm going for a again being safe, a 2-2 draw maybe.
Hmm.
For Tottenham will be again they have most of their players back now,
Yep.
I believe, except for Son and Dragusin.
Hmm.
So they have the squad back. Forest just I would have ideally gone for a Forest win, but Forest's form over the past 5-6 games, except for that early win against United and a win against Ipswich, they haven't looked their best.
Hmm.
The defeat against Everton at the very end will get their morale down.
Yep.
So uh, that's the reason I'm going for a draw.
Hmm. I'm actually gonna go for a 1-2 Forest win.
Okay.
I think Spurs will again do a Spurs and lose, especially after being high against Eintracht Frankfurt. And because Forest have had that rest, they have
Mhm.
not played the whole game week.
Yeah,
That's why I think they will win because for Nottingham have faced a very tough Eintracht Frankfurt side. So
true.
that's why. Man
Again,
City
one
are
of
gonna. Yep.
big pictures.
Yep.
That's on Tuesday. So we've added like two additional games this week.
Correct.
Uh, it could be a narrow City win, like Amaya has predicted.
Hmm. What do you think? 2-1 or?
There would be goals.
Yep.
Actually, wait. It's very difficult. You go ahead. You go with your prediction.
I am gonna go for a 3-1 City win.
Okay.
Um. Again, Villa are playing literally on Saturday, and they're
Mm.
again playing on Tuesday. And what I've seen of Villa is they are repeating the same team again and again.
Mm.
Emery doesn't like that much rotation, and I think Villa might fall to City, considering it's at home again, and that's why I'm going for a City win. And then because City are playing on Saturday and then on Tuesday, so they
Mhm.
might get some rest as compared to and then because they are playing Everton right again.
Yeah.
That could be a turning point as well, but I think at home City are way too comfortable to lose.
I'll go for a 2-1 win for City.
Hmm. 2-1. Okay.
Yeah. It will be a difficult game for both the teams. A very taxing game.
Yep.
Uh, Aston Villa, City have nothing else but top four
Correct.
or top five. Aston Villa, they still have the FA Cup.
Yep.
So it could be like, and the points you mentioned that they have been playing continuously. They haven't got any breaks. That is taking a toll on their team. But then again, top five will be a priority for them as well. So,
By the way,
uh,
Sushant, City
yeah.
are still in the FA Cup, so they
Oh yeah,
do.
City are in the FA
Yep.
Cup as well.
Yeah, City are
Are
gonna play
those two
Forest.
facing no
No,
Forest?
Forest. Yep.
Oh yes, I forgot
So
about City in the FA
maybe
Cup.
Guardiola still wins a trophy. Who knows?
Yeah,
Yep. Arsenal
and
versus Palace,
Crystal
the
Palace.
London derby again.
Uh, 3-0 to Arsenal from my side.
3-0. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for a 3-1 to Arsenal.
Mm,
Again, at home, too powerful for a Crystal Palace team.
exactly.
Again, and this is going to be my wildest guess. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw again. If it's a 1-1 draw or a 1-0 draw. Considering,
Arsenal will get that win. Arsenal are getting those, like, I'd say those lucky. I won't say lucky. They are playing well,
yep.
but they are getting those crucial wins.
Hmm,
I'd use the word crucial.
hmm.
Like they are scoring when it matters. Someone or the other turns up. I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Alafiori comes and scores against Crystal Palace
True,
and wins the game for them.
true. The only thing is because there is one more. So the moment Liverpool wins against Leicester, they
Mm,
just need one more win.
yeah,
And that might be demoralizing for Arsenal, and they would be
mm,
like, okay, we are just going to focus on the Champions League right now.
possible.
Uh, and it's against PSG, right? It's not an easy opponent.
Mm,
They might need everyone fit for that.
yeah,
So that's why I think they will not risk it, considering the league is almost done. And they're like, yeah, that's okay. We will focus on the Champions League and play our reserves in the Premier League.
S- True, true. So Arsenal, like you mentioned, right? So Arsenal will be using the reserve team in the Premier League.
Yep.
They'll be using the second team in the Premier League. They won't be risking most of the first team players. So yeah, let's see how it turns out. But it should be a comfortable win for Arsenal.
Let's see. Let's see. It's a Premier League. You cannot
Yeah,
be sure of anything. But yeah, let's see how the game week goes. It's an exciting game week for sure. Again, nothing to be. The only thing which is exciting of this Premier League is a top four,
the
or
race for the second, third, fourth, and fifth position.
maybe second as well. Who knows after this game
Yeah,
week?
true. If
Second,
Arsenal
third.
lose one and Newcastle win both, then they
Yep,
are just 1 point off.
yep. So Arsenal. So second, third, fourth, fifth, maybe sixth, maybe seventh as well.
It's a very
It's
congested like the mid table.
mid-table. Yep. But let's see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys for joining in, and we'll be back with our the Champions League and Europa League pre review, and after that we'll be getting with the review for the game week.
Yep. And in the Champions League and the Europa League review, we'll be suggesting what blood pressure medicines you should have if you if you want to see such fixtures.
Yeah.
So
Okay. See you guys.
take care. Thank you so much.
Bye.